Welcome back, YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us again. We want to just tell you how much we appreciate you showing up every week and supporting us. We ask that you would continue to like and subscribe and watch our videos. It really does help us, and it's building a community of people that we can all encourage each other, both in the really hard times in life and in some of the most awesome, exciting moments in life as well. Today, we're not even going to waste your time. We're going to get right into part 2 of 3 of the Joe Beck interview, and I know we've been waiting a long time for it. So, without further ado, Joe Beck part 2.
You're started into kind of a new adventure with Songwriter University, and I wanted to ask you just a little bit about that so that you could let our viewers know what that's about and maybe how they can participate with you.
Well, Songwriting University, because of the change in the economics, the music business right now is kind of going through an adjustment curve, because most kids and people now get their music in a different format, Spotify, or they join, my kids all have Spotify membership streaming. So we're in a period of, how do you make money?
Right.
How do you monetize, especially if you're a songwriter? How do I monetize this? And for whatever reason, it just hit me, man, because even though anybody nowadays can make a record, but you need skill. And the two areas to me that modern people need the most help would be songs and mixing. Because you can play and tune it and move it, and that's the sound. And it's actually, I don't want to sound like a traitor letting down the old people, but some of that stuff's pretty cool. So I'm not against it. I actually enjoy a lot of it. But the craft of writing a song. So the Songwriting University was just born out of, what if we helped both sides of the fence? What if we gave people who had a passion for wanting to write their own material or learn the craft, by having them work one-on-one with people who've already done it, hit songwriters. And so over 2 years, we finally put it together, and we have Mike Blanton, who you may have heard of, and Gary Glover and Billy Sprague. We own the company, but literally the whole concept is just based on everything songwriting. That's how I learned how to write songs.
Yeah.
By people taking the time to work with me, even though they had no reason. That was almost like the unwritten etiquette. Like in baseball, there's all these rules. You don't do, you're like, is that in the rule book? No, you just don't do it.
There's no crying in baseball.
Unspoken etiquette.
But I always grew up, it was you passed on. This generation helped this generation, helped this, and then you keep passing it on. But it seems to me like the passing on thing died. So this gives people an opportunity not to, when you're doing these sessions online, especially with our online session program, you're writing a song. And I think 7 of the people last year got songs recorded. One older guy got a song on a Grammy-nominated record. So you're taking your idea, and we don't come with ideas. You're writing your song. You're seeing your song, and that's how I learned how to do it. You're in a room with somebody who's iconic, and you're watching how they develop lines, and you're watching how they tweak a melody. Things that you cannot teach in a conference talking. You're living it. You're doing it. It'd be like me, building a house and working with somebody who knows how to do it. It's tremendously educational to be there doing it. And then we're working with universities. We do a number of things. We help people create networks, but it's all song. It's all about, how do I write a better song? Because to me, naturally, it still comes down to a song.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't start filming Gilligan's Island until you have a script.
Right.
Somebody has to write something. Who are the characters? How do they get here? You just can't go to Gilligan's Island and start filming. And that's the same thing with a book. You just don't. Well, I'm going to write a book today. Here it is. Well, you don't. Someone has to write it first. So I'm big on expanding people's imagination and helping, and then honoring the craft. Mm-hmm. It would be like if all of a sudden it became cool to play electric guitar out of tune. Well, tuning's overrated. No, tuning helps our ears. This instrument needs to be tuned. No, it doesn't need to be tuned. There's certain things that never change in the music bit, from Mark Twain to today. It's like some things don't change. Mm-hmm. The sounds, the scope, like there's a period, like in the 90s music, a lot of the songs I wrote that were really big hits, they have, that's how much the octave is. They go from, you have to have that big of an octave to sing the song. Now, if you can just hit that note. Lord, you know where I am, I'm a Christian. There's no range. And I don't think one's right and one's wrong. But range, linear was in. Things changed, but it just helps if you don't suck. It's just, there's no way around it. If you want to last, you have to learn the craft of...
And keep learning it.
And keep learning it. How do you create... So more of what we teach is how to create music. How to impact, whether it's a pop song or a country song or religious inspiration. You still want to touch somebody's heart. Mm-hmm. Somehow. It's funny what moves me. But like... Bust a move moves me. If I leave to go to my meeting this afternoon, your best friend Harry has a cousin Larry. In five, the song moves me. Free Ride moves me. But there's, My Romance moves me. See, that's one song from the 40s by Gershwin, and Bust a Move in the late 80s, early 90s. It doesn't, it's a skill of trying to teach people how to create stuff that moves your audience. Because if you can catch their hearts, you can probably make a living somehow. Too much stuff that I write is just beautifully recorded. Yeah. The words rhyme, the sentences, there's stuff in there that goes, hey, that's a good line. But you either need to be the worst artist ever, and I mean an effectively bad artist, or be really, really good and move people, like Adele has done, like Taylor Swift has done, like, Luke Bryan has done, anybody, any marketplace. For whatever reason, those artists figured out some way to capture their art. And it's easy when you're in the music business to look at other age groups and go, oh man, they're terrible. They're better than you are. But that's I'll tell you a story. I don't remember when it was, 94 or 5, but used to be in Christian music. They used to have this really big GMA week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Down at the convention center, which I think is gone.
And we participated the year that Big Dream came.
I remember.
The record came out. Yeah.
But here's the thing: each bigger label would have really big meal thing. Like this thing I'm talking about was a dinner for all the sales reps and people from all over the world who sold the records for all the different Benson labels that they own. So they had artists get up there, and sing one song after dinner or two and interview, So back in the 90s, it was all these big acts from Benson. For Him did a couple songs, Larnell Harris, Michael Sweet, I don't remember who all. which is a part of the story. But they had this, Benson was expanding to be a world market. So they had already touched into South Africa and Australia. So they had this group from Australia. And they come out, and the lead singer looks like, he's probably 40, 50 pounds overweight. Didn't look like he had bathed any time in that particular month. Nasty, obnoxious individual. And they get on the stage and they start singing this kind of rapish rock tune. I've got one bad attitude. And you can see these Christian reps calling their parents, oh, mommy, help me. The devil has arrived. Anyway, they got dropped the next day. They got dropped from the label. And I can remember talking to Jerry Park one day, who was the president, going, I don't think I would have dropped him. And he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't remember one thing for him sung. I don't remember Lana Harris. But I still know them. See, that's my point. They were so bad.
They left an impression.
That they... Now, I'm not condoning doing that. I'm just saying, even the Bible talks about that. Lukewarm. I'll spew you out of my mouth. It's like, you have to be conscious of that. That you have to impact somehow. Now, it's easier said than done. I think Willie Nelson said that on 60 Minutes one time. He was riding in his bus and they're interviewing him. And somebody goes, you've written thousands of songs. And he's talking about, well, it's easy to write a song. It's just hard to write a good one.
The good ones are a little tougher.
It's a little tougher than you think it is. Well, because I don't know, even though you're sitting here hearing me say things you should do. Mm-hmm. If you figure it out, please get my phone number and call me. It's not quite as easy to do as you think it is.
Sure.
So when it comes to Songwriting University, how do people get in touch with them and participate?
It's online. You can call us. You can find us. You can call. We're really launching in a big way, so you'll be hearing about it. I think it's September the 15th. But I encourage people too, because I'm real big into relationships, and the beauty of what we've done so far is that once you get into our world, you're developing a network. We keep up with you. It's not just write a song and you're gone. Mm-hmm. It's relationships. And I still work with people from 40 years ago. For whatever reason, I was just conscious of relationships. You and I have been working since early 9. I don't know how long.
Mid-90s.
Long time of life's journey, but I'm more into that. The people part of it is much more important than you think it is. And your people skills than your musician skills. There are people at Starbucks who can play guitar better than Eddie Van Halen. But trying to get those people skills going where they can meet people. And I'm not saying I like any of it. That's another thing. It's like, I have opinions beyond what you can comprehend about everything. About the swath of your grass. No, you should rotate your swath every other week. Obnoxious opinions. You should overlap 3/4 of it.
I told you he was funny.
No, it's like everybody has opinions. The difference between me is like when you can't. There are battles that aren't worth fighting because you just aren't going to win them. You're not even going to come close. You're just going to ruin your life, and you have to adapt. And a lot of the music industry, if you're really trying to get into songwriting, is relationships. It's getting to know people. It may involve cleaning a couple bedrooms for them. I don't know.
Painting somebody's house.
You have.
We don't know nothing about that.
No. You have to build relationships and love on people and enjoy it. If you don't enjoy people, that's what I don't get. Is like you see people young, they want to be Coldplay or they want to be, Nirvana, the next big thing. But you sense they really don't want to be bothered while they're getting there.
Uh-huh.
They don't answer their phone. They don't return emails. They're not very personable. They're like going, I don't know that that's the best way to get into the music business.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's not.
Because even today, you don't have this license to be a jerk. If you're going to be a jerk, you need to do it like me and do it behind the scenes. You can't.
Or just don't.
Yeah.